I suggested to him, considering his unwell state, that we should pause our date, take some painkillers, and rest. However, he was adamant about continuing his training that evening despite his health condition, rather than postponing our plans.
Was Kelvin Kiptum turning a blind eye to the red flags he met before meeting his untimely demise? His passing has unveiled some significant errors he made that, if heeded, might have kept him alive today.
Hello, my name is Chief Okuzo from Plug TV.
Error number 1, disregarding his wife's advice. Despite Kelvin Kiptum's wife expressing concerns about his fatigue and headaches, advising him to take a break from training, the advice fell on deaf ears. Kelvin Kiptum insisted that he had no choice but to continue training for the upcoming race scheduled for April 2024.
He called me and told me that he had been feeling exhausted that day and that he had to pause for a moment during the training due to the extensive headache. I suggested to him, considering his unwell state, that we should pause our date, take some painkillers, and rest. However, he was adamant about continuing his training that evening despite his health condition, rather than postponing our plans.
Had Kelvin heeded his wife's advice, he might still be alive today. Error number 2, driving while fatigued. Despite admitting his exhaustion from training, Kelvin Kiptum attempted to drive home afterward. According to the sole survivor of the accident, Sharon, Kelvin was at the wheel when the car veered off the road, resulting in the fatal crash that claimed his life and that of his coach.
Sharon Kosgei, during the time of accident, she saw the driver of the vehicle, Mr. Kelvin Kiptum, the late, getting out of the road. Then she alerted him, but he was unable to control the vehicle.
Speculations are rife regarding the circumstances leading to the accident, with many suggesting that Kelvin might have either fallen asleep at the wheel or experienced a complete shutdown of his body while driving, possibly due to fatigue from the intense training sessions, the same fatigue that he had complained to his wife about. The aftermath of this tragedy has sparked a wave of concerns among netizens, who are now calling for enhanced safety measures to protect the country's sportsmen and women. Suggestions include allocating personal doctors to athletes to monitor their health and provide immediate medical attention if needed, as exemplified by Kiptum, who had previously complained of fatigue and headache. Probably, if he had a doctor on ground, the doctor would have forced him to go on a serious bed rest. And probably, he would not have gone for training and drove himself back home. But unfortunately, he never had a doctor who would have given him appropriate advice concerning his health. Furthermore, there are calls for the provision of personal bodyguards and drivers to ensure the safety of athletes, preventing them from driving while fatigued or vulnerable like Kelvin Kiptum. Notable figures such as Jalango, the Member of Parliament of Langata, and Kirinyaga Women Representative Jen Jerry Maina are among those advocating for these measures, emphasizing the urgent need for the government to intervene and safeguard the well-being of Kenya's sporting heroes.
Yako ni gani? Unaonelea kwamba hivi sasa ni wakati ambapo serikali inafaa kuingilia swala hili na kupatia wanariadha walinzi wa usalama hivi?
Wajua, Kelvin Kiptum hakuwa tu mwanariadha yeyote. Alikuwa kama national treasure. Alikuwa mtu ambaye ameuza Kenya. Alikuwa mtu ambaye alivunja rekodi kadhaa. Kwa hivyo wanariadha kama kina Kelvin Kiptum ni vizuri pia watunze kama nchi. Manake pale nje wanatuuza bila kutuambia tulipe chochote. Wanasaidia pia tukue na tourism. Wanatufanya marketing na branding. Kwa hivyo mimi ningeomba, na najua ile motion ikiletwa pale na mheshimiwa wa Langata tutaweza kuiunga mkono. Manake inasikitisha sana kuona kilichomtendekea na kujua kwamba labda angekuwa na watu ambao wanamlinda, ama labda angekuwa na personal driver, labda tungeepuka hayo, lakini tuseme Mungu amlaze pema peponi na tuipe pole familia yake.
But even as we mourn the death of Kelvin, having listened to what his father said, I think there should be a thorough investigation to what actually caused the accident. And apart from that, we need and request that our athletes be treated as VIPs and be given security, and all our top athletes who represent this country bring the accolades, and they're always just celebrated. Immediately they get their medals. After that, they are forgotten about. Kindly, we request that a thorough investigation be done to the cause of this accident that led to the death of Kelvin Kiptum. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.